Did you know that 75% of guitar players, of guitar learners rather, they quit playing guitar because they don't know how to tune it? Man, did you know that? I'm just playing. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. But basically, we're going to talk about tuning your guitar, and we're going to actually talk about what I qualify as tuning your guitar. It's not only using your tuning pegs to adjust the pitch of your string. That's not all that tuning is. Okay. Some of this tuning will involve setting your intonation using one of these, okay, to actually just make sure that your guitar is tight. You want to make sure the guitar, like nothing is wiggling, okay? That's very important. So you just want your guitar to feel good, even if it's not the most expensive guitar. You just want it to be nice and tight, okay? So let's get into the discussion. All right. So one of the things that we do when we're tuning our guitars is you do want to adjust your tuning pegs to the right. You want your tuning pegs to adjust the note of the string, the pitch of the string, to the correct pitch. We want to do that. You also want to, there are screws on the top of each tuning peg. You want to use a screwdriver, flathead or Phillips head screwdriver, and just tighten it a little bit so that it doesn't turn and it falls out of tune. That is possible. Also, you want to making sure I don't miss something. You also want to make sure that each little screw, if you have a pick guard, you want to make sure that each little screw isn't like wiggling. You don't want wiggly screws. You want everything to be as tight as possible. Make sure your knobs, all that stuff is nice and tight. But on the simple side of things, if these are loose, just go ahead and tighten them. Now, it doesn't mean that you put all your strength into tightening these screws. Don't do that. Just, give it a nice little tug to make sure it's not turning, make sure it's not wiggling. Okay. Just make sure it's not doing that. It's very, very simple, but you don't need like a socket wrench to get it back loose again. You don't need that. And your bridge, just make sure, like all that stuff, just make sure it's like, actually your bridge, the lugs, not the lugs, but the screws on your bridge. Let's not talk about that in this particular talk, because with this particular bridge, you have to not tighten it all the way in order for you to have a floating, not a floating bridge, but like a nice little tremolo setup to where you can do pitch bends. So we're not going to talk about that. But also your intonation. And this is where you're adjusting your saddles. This is where your strings are sitting. Okay, sitting on top of when you first insert them in. And it actually is adjusting the length of your string from the top of the saddle right here all the way to where it sits in the nut. So you want all that stuff to be adjusted. Now, some could argue that intonation is separate. Okay, cool. Maybe. I don't think it's separate. I don't treat it as separate. Okay. And the next thing is, for some of you who already know this, please don't think that this is beyond you. I personally, even though I've been playing for over 20 years, I would sit in a session on how to tune your guitar. Personally, I would. Before I start on how to tune your guitar, it's almost like this. And I've said this in previous videos. In order to receive potassium from a banana, would you only eat one banana for all of life? Does it give you everything that you need from the one banana? No. You eat a banana one a day, or one every other day, or, every so often, so you can receive the nutrients from the banana. So sometimes when it comes to information, it's good to listen to it over and over, regardless if you know it or not. It's going to give you a new level of conviction to make sure that you do it, and you won't take it for granted. Also, it'll make you play that much better, just a little bit better. If you sound better, you'll be more encouraged to play. And some of us are trying to make a badly tuned and bad intonation on a guitar, trying to make that sound good. You can't do that. It starts with good intonation, good tuning. Make sure that your guitar is tight. Take 5 minutes to just do it. It's that thing. I do know there are some people, I can't say that it's 75% of all guitar learners. I can't say that. But I do know that some people quit guitar because to them, it doesn't sound like it's supposed to sound. And it won't stay in tune. Once it is in tune, it doesn't stay in tune. So let's get started. Now, just as a simple thing to bring up. I'm doing this, right? I'm going to do this with my voice. My voice is going higher. When I do this, my voice is going lower. So if you're tuning this string or if you're turning this tuning peg and it does this, you're loosening it, okay? And on this guitar, I'm turning it. When I'm loosening it, I'm actually, it's making it lower. It's going, ooh, okay? If I'm tightening it, I'm turning it counterclockwise. And keep in mind that some guitars have tuners on this side too. So the reason why I'm sort of mouthing this tone, let me do this real quick. Okay, there we go. The reason why I'm sort of mouthing this tone or this pitch bend is because sometimes people pop strings and they're trying to tune their guitars. Please know that if you tighten your strings too much, your string will pop. Okay, so it's good to have a guide, maybe go online to get the actual pitch of what you're trying to hit, or get a tuning app so that it'll play the sound and you want to match that pitch, okay? And after you do it a couple of times, it's a no-brainer. You know exactly what to do. But anyhow, so here is the low E string. We already know what the notes are, okay? We got the low E, A, G, D, B, E. Okay, so the high E, high E, B right here, D, G, A, E. Okay, some guitar instructors, they hang on the Eddie 8 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie, from here to here. Eddie 8 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. I don't like that one, but it's a good way to remember, okay? So you're going to tune this to an E, this to an A, this to a D, G, B, E. Those are the notes that you're tuning it to. And I'm actually going to let you see my tuner as I'm doing it, okay? So now, after I have actually taken this screwdriver, I go to the top of my tuners and I give this a little bit of a, give it a little, tighten it just a little bit. And I've kind of already done it, so I don't have to go back and do it. And make sure you actually hold the tuner. Make sure you don't poke your fingers with the ends of the string. Hold the tuner while doing it. Turn it in the way that you're tightening it. And just make sure it's not loose, okay? So this is going to ensure that your tuners don't involuntarily just spin just because there's some tension on it. Okay. So just because there's tension and something pulling at it, it could slowly just unravel. You don't want that to happen. So that's that part. And then just check. It's worth checking. I already said this. Tighten all these little screws right here. If you have a pick guard, not all guitars have a pick guard, and you might be tuning an acoustic guitar, and some acoustic guitars have bridge adjustments on this end too. But this is kind of, electric guitar wise. And in order to adjust your intonation, here are screws right here on the edge. And in order to make my string longer, I have to tighten it, turning it clockwise. Okay. I don't know if that's clockwise to y'all, but I would have to turn it clockwise in order to lengthen the string, counterclockwise to shorten it. All right. Now, let's switch my camera view to the actual tuner. All right, so there's my tuner. And I'm going to engage it. All right. And I guess if it's helpful, I'll like put my little self on the screen. Let me put me right here actually. So, maybe it can look like I'm looking at it, but which I kind of am. I'm looking at it right now. So anyhow, now I'm going to tune the E, and I'm already pretty close right now, so I don't have to verify the note that much. So this is a D. I know it has to be an E, so I'm going to tighten it because it's D sharp. I know that E comes after that. All right. So that is good. But even though that is good, I want to make sure that my intonation is good as well. Now, I've already mentioned this, but intonation is actually setting the length of the string from the nut to the saddle. And there is a specific length where you want the distance from the nut to the 12th fret to be the same distance from the 12th fret to the saddle. When that is perfect, your string as a whole is well intonated as well as being in tune. Because if it's the wrong length, it could be in tune as far as down here, but when you play up high, it's not going to sound good. And I have videos where my guitar does not sound the best. Okay. And I often hear other guitar players, they're playing, and I ain't taking no dig at y'all, but it don't sound good. If the guitar is not properly intonated, you can do all the moves you want to. It's not, it's not going to sound good. So anyway, let's go back to here, and we're gonna fast forward from this point. So now it's on E, but now I'm about to go to my 12th fret. So this is open E, right? I'm going to go to my 12th fret now, and I'm going to fret that. All right, now notice that it's actually going a little bit sharp right now. So it's going to the right. That means that the string might be too short. Whenever it's sharp at the 12th fret, that means that the string as a whole is too short. If you see it go to the left or flat, that means that the string as a whole is too long. And it might be too long like that much. It's not like a lot, but it changes the intonation quality of the string. So now I'm going to adjust that, and I'm going to adjust it by going to my E string saddle. And when I go to my E string saddle, I'm going to actually make it to where it is longer, because if my string is too short, I want to make it longer. So I want to turn it clockwise to move my saddle this way. That means I'm making it longer. So let's go. And I'm gonna give it a good, couple of turns. Now I'm gonna go back to my illustration. I have to retune it. So now I have to kind of back it off a little bit, okay? Because now it's on. Yeah, it's a little sharp, so I got to make sure it's right on. All right, cool. So we're right on E. Now let's go to the 12th fret again. All right, so now it's not moving as much. So I want to do it a little more. So again, I'm making it longer. And we're going to tune it again. We're going to go back to the 12th fret and check. So now it looks a little better. I'm going to wait to further adjust it, but now it's looking like I might have to shorten it a little bit, but it's better than it was. Now I'm going to go to the next one. So the next one is A. Remember Eddie 8 Dynamite. We're on 8, which is ATE. So let's go here. We're going to tune that. I'm going to go to the 12th fret. All right, so for this one, the string is probably too long. At the 12th fret, well, let me make sure I'm tuned right. So I'm giving, always make sure that is all the way tuned before you go to the 12th fret. All right, it's actually good. It's actually good. Okay, so let's double check. Okay, cool. At the 12th fret, it looks good. It's not, moving on us. Let's go to the D string. We're on Dynamite. Okay, let's tune that. All right, let's go to the 12th fret. I'm gonna have to do some fret work. That is a little bit sharp. So I'm just gonna very slightly make it longer. I'm just gonna make a small turn. I'm gonna retune it and go back to my 11th fret. All right, I'm gonna make one more little turn. Some would say it's good. Well, for me, I don't want to see it move. This guitar was given to me, so the fret buzz is crazy. All right, I still want to turn it just a little bit. Back to the 12th fret. All right, it's still moving on me, but I'm gonna go to the G string. Let's tighten that. Let's go to the 12th fret. All right, you see that? That's like crazy. And on that previous string, I may just have to raise the string. I may not have to do no fret work because I don't like doing fret work. All right, so this is going sharp again, so I'm going to have to make that longer as well. So let's go to the G string, what do you call it? Saddle. And we're going to do that. We're going to turn that one. I'm going to turn it a good bit. And when I turn it, I'm going to always have to retune my string. That's a little better. And I should have did like an A and B of how it sounds before and after, but I'll do it another time. Because periodically I do a tuning video anyway. And hopefully even beginners can sort of understand how this works and can appreciate how it works actually. All right, let's go back. All right, let's turn it a little bit more. And now there are some factors that may hinder intonation from working properly. Like, you know, maybe you keep turning it and it's not turning anymore. It might be because of the gauge of your strings. If the guitar is actually engineered for, let's say, 10 gauge strings and you put some 8s on there, and every time you change the gauge, you have to redo the intonation. When you change the strings, period, you have to redo your intonation. Let's go to the B string. And go to the 12th fret. All right, now that is, I mean, it's good. I'm not mad at it, but I would actually turn it to the left a little bit to not make it as long. Just a little bit. I like that better. This is the high E string. that go with the song, don't it? All right, go to the 12th fret. All right, so this is a tad, it's not much, but we're gonna make that a little longer. I mean, it almost makes your guitar feel more expensive when you got everything sounding good. Guitars sound cheaper when they're not properly intonated. So it's almost like an instant way to make your guitar sound just more official. Just a little bit more. Let's get that right. All right, now to the 12th fret. That's better. Okay, now after doing all that, I'm gonna go back through again and I'm gonna make sure that every string stayed in tune. All right, there's E, that got out of tune a little bit. There's the A. Here's the D. Here, it didn't get out of tune a whole lot. And the tuner it's not like jumping around as much. So I don't know if you can see that. At first, the tuner was kind of, you know, moving around, like just doing all this strange stuff before. And I like how that looks now. So now the tuning pegs are not wiggly. They're tighter. And, you know, we don't have the guitar pick, the pick guard feeling wiggly because I tightened the screws a little bit. Okay. And everything else feels good. Made sure that the, the bridge is good. Okay. This is a tremolo bridge or vibrato. Some people call it that. I personally like for these two pickups to be lowered just a little bit. It makes everything sound a little bit sweeter when it's lower output. The higher output stuff for the bridge pickup, so it's a little bit higher output because it's closer to the strings, but you don't want it hitting the strings. You don't want that. But if you want to crank it up and do some bluesy stuff or some rock stuff, it's going to give you higher output. Okay. So I hope this is some game for y'all. So now I'm going to turn my tuner off and we're going to play. That sounds good to me. Let's bring it some more. This is a little, I don't know what kind of guitar this is. It's like a Squire. Yeah. So I don't know if that was actually a little helpful. I ain't even see I got comments. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. Ain't nobody watching. Well, I mean, 7 people, 8 people watching now. A little solo. Well, a solo, man. Let's see. I'm not doing it on this guitar. This is not the guitar to do it on, in my opinion. So, 1 second. So, we'll see. We'll see if I got something in me. Too loud. So I don't know if you can hear this or not. Can you even hear that? So if you can hear that, I guess I'll do a couple of scales. I don't have no specific solo. So I don't know if this person, the banker person, left. So I mean, that's what this guitar can do. So I hope that was helpful and clean. It sounds like this. So I don't know if that sounds different to you. So a little thicker than the other guitar. So yes, I hope that was helpful for those of you that stayed on the whole time. I know some of y'all be wanting like these 5-minute videos. Listen, learn how to sit down somewhere and watch a full video. I don't want to be the guitar uncle on here. Sit down somewhere and watch the whole thing. But yeah, that's how you properly tune. You know, tighten the tuners, you know, to just make sure that your tuners are not wiggling and, like I said, becoming loose because of the tension of the string, slowly taking your guitar out of tune, and you don't even know that it's going out of tune. And by the end of the song, you're not the notes don't even sound right. Okay, and then you fight with it, and now you want to quit playing guitar. Well, this is one of the ways that you can remain inspired just by keeping your guitar properly tuned and having proper intonation so that it sounds good to you and it feels good to you. Okay. And if somebody else is playing a note, maybe your guitar instructor is showing you how to play something and they're playing the note first, and then you can play the note and it sounds just like what the instructor is playing. Identical. It's little things like that where the guitar learner would say, Mine doesn't sound like yours. That's a part of it. Now, another part that I'm not going to go into, I'm actually going to end the video soon. Another part that I can go into is string height. Another reason that guitar learners, beginners, sometimes intermediate, they get discouraged because they don't even know about string height. Okay? So if the string height is too high, you could be struggling trying to play chords, let alone a solo. And you're wondering why your fingers are hurting. You know, I was teasing one of my other students on another one of these videos. And I was like, push the string all the way to the wood. You know what I'm saying? She was like, all the way to the wood. I was like, I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't have to do that. You know, you should be able to get a note out by just doing that. Okay, it shouldn't be hard. Now, you may have mild calluses on the tips of your fingers, but as you can see, I play professionally. Now, I have mild calluses because I play all the time. But I'm playing all the time. But that's because my string height is at a comfortable height. So that's just another part. Make sure that your string height is comfortable for you. Make sure that your guitar is in tune. Okay? Now, I got some more sauce now. If y'all want more, you can come inside to my private community. I have my link. It'll be in the description of this video, as well as my bio description profile statement thing. You can click that, and it's good stuff. You know, invest in yourself. Don't let a lot of time go by and you wish you would have gotten lessons. Okay. Some of you are wasting time by finding these needles in this huge haystack of a YouTube platform. And it's taking longer for you to find out what you want to find out. But if that's what you want to do, cool. But I'm here for the ones who want to get it a little faster. All right. So I'm here to help. Just letting you know. But I did want to show y'all that. And this is a great starting point to make sure that your guitar sounds right. Make sure that if your guitar is sitting in the corner, you want to pick it up. You don't want to look at your guitar and think, I don't know how it's going to sound today. You know, so this is just one of those little minor things that once you adjust that intonation, you don't have to do it a whole lot. Okay. Just make sure that it's in tune and make sure that the tuning pegs are nice and tight. And you might have to tune your guitar every other time you play it, as opposed to every single time you play it. But you always want to check though. Make sure that you check to make sure that your guitar is in tune anyway. All right. So I don't know if there are any questions. Okay. I know somebody got on who was saying ain't nobody watching. And I mean, they were right at the time. Among Bakar. And then they asked for a solo. I gave you a little one. And I don't know what the other one says. I don't know. Maybe that's something I have to actually translate. So I thank you all for watching. If there is nothing else, I'll go, but I'll stick around for another minute or so because sometimes there's a lag in the comments. So I'll stick around to see if something is dropped in the comments. If there's something that I should address or answer if you have a question. So I'm open for questions if you have any questions. And those of you that come on, don't just be peeping in. Drop a like, do something. Say what's up and say I'm out. All right. And those of you who just popped on, I just pretty much did a demonstration of how to tune your guitar, which is something that honestly, make sure that you're on top of that. Make sure you're on top of that, because if you don't maintain a well-tuned guitar, and I got a couple other things to share too. I'm glad some of y'all hopped on. So For those of you that hopped on, listen, listen, listen. Anytime somebody says listen 3 times, that means you better listen. But one thing that can impact like not good tuning, the seasons are changing. Like when the seasons change, that can kind of impact the wood a little bit. I mean, just subtly. And then it, it's going to make you have to change strings, at least check your intonation. Just check it. If nothing changes, then fine. If you're not in drastic temperatures, fine. But the thing is, temperatures outside will impact how you have your temperature inside your home set. And if you got the heater on, your strings are gonna regulate a certain type of way in that environment. And if you're carrying your guitar to different places and you put it in your car and then you take it to another environment, well, it's gonna very subtly change. Okay. So just keep that in mind and just check again. Make sure you're all tuned up. But then now spring is coming. Spring is here pretty much. And I think on the 22nd is when spring is officially here. And even though I should change my strings more often, probably like every 3 weeks, some people change strings every show, multiple times each show. But for me, it's a little less frequently, like once every 3 weeks, once a month. And plus, if I'm using multiple guitars, I don't have to do it as frequently. Yeah, everything's going well. Everything's going well. Thank you so much for dropping the line. Thank you. Yeah, so spring is coming. It's going to be time for me to change my strings, even though I just put these on a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, strings, depending on the types of strings you get, can cost $5 or $6. You might use like D'Addario or something like that. Those strings cost about $5 or $6 for the pack. On here, on the other guitar I had, I think I got D'Addarios on there. On this guitar, I use Elixirs. Let me see. Yeah, I don't have the pack, but I use Elixirs on this guitar. They just, maybe I just like the name Elixir. I mean, maybe that's why. But they do feel good, and they seem to last long, and they seem to have a good sustain, So yeah. So to recap, tighten your tuning pegs. Don't just go tuning your guitar and then you tune it and you have loose tuning pegs and it doesn't stay in tune. You want it to stay in tune. You're going to frustrate yourself if you don't do these little things to keep your guitar in tune. Then tune your guitar, like actually tune it. Okay. Then go to the 12th fret to make sure that it's tuned to the same exact note as the open string is tuned to. All right. And if it's not the same, if it's like on the note, but it's kind of wobbling a little bit on your tuner LED, if it's wobbling, depending on which way it's going, it will inform you on whether or not you should tighten that string or lengthen the string or make the string shorter. Remember, if the string is too long, it may go to the right, meaning so let me see. I got a few people on. I'm going to show just very briefly before I get off, but here is actually I moved it. So let me put it back on, but here's my tuner right here. So I'm going to go to E. All right. So it's on E and I want to make sure that is a little bit more centered. And I'm just going to do it on the string. Then I want to go to the 12th fret. All right. And I've already done this string, but since it's going to the right a little bit, you can see those other lines kind of going to the right. That means that right now my string is too long, so I need to shorten it a little bit. And I do believe that the temperatures can play a role in the expansion and contraction of strings. So, and these things are very subtle. So I'm just going to back it off a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. I've already shown it. I'm not going to go through every string. But yeah, so now that's good. That's like a comfortable place right now. So, but yeah, what I just showed you, you pretty much want to do that for every single string. Just be patient. One of the ways that you get better at guitar, and one of the ways that you maintain whatever, become aware of these things, but be patient. Some of y'all want these songs to just drop in your head, and you know, people put up videos, learn this song in 5 seconds, and they lying to you. Some of y'all might get it. Some of y'all it might take a day. So that is pretty much it. So thank you all for watching. I know I didn't like get straight to it, but you will be all right. Be thankful that I'm willing to sit down and like explain it to you for those who are impatient. So, but for those of you who came by, thank you so much. And I'm gonna put my little background song back on so that I can hit end video. I guess that's the right way to do it. And turn it up a little bit, I guess. But I appreciate you kicking it with me for at least 3 minutes. And maybe some of you can share in the comments what kind of guitar you're working with. Share with me if you've actually implemented this, and do you have better tuning stabilization on your guitar just from simply just adjusting or tightening your screws on your tuning pegs. Okay. And yeah, I just got another line. It's interesting how this is Easy E9219. It's interesting how the tuning fluctuate when the guitar is in playing position or on a flat surface. That is true. Now, some luthiers will tune the guitar this way, you know, when they're changing the strings. Personally, I do it this way because a part of that is because there's a little bit, now there's like a little bracket that it sits on, so it'll keep it straight. So it should be fine. But I just like to have it the way that it's being played. That's just me. Now, I might change the strings this way, but when it's time to get it right, I'm doing it this way. So yeah, you're right. I think that, I mean, it's wood. It's not like metal, you know, like gravity is going to do its thing, you know, and it's bending a little bit. So it might go a little bit sharp somewhat or whatever. And you know, like sometimes when people are playing and they make a chord ring out, and then they do the wing, they kind of bend the neck. I don't know why they do that, but that's changing the pitch of the strings to give it a sort of a tremolo sound. And I don't know, I'm not doing that. So, but all right, y'all, thank you so much for coming through. Guitar is the most beautiful instrument, but sometimes it's a pain. Hey, once you get these routines down, and you settle with the one that you want, the guitar that you want, it'll show up for you every time. You know, just get something that is a playable guitar. Make sure it's stable. You know, if you have cheap parts, it's gonna cheap out on you. But make sure that they're tight, at least. In the meantime, if you don't have the money, whatever, just make sure everything is tight, and it'll be better than it was. But I paid $55 for this guitar, $55. But I upgraded the pickups. I gave it a new neck. I gave it new tuners. The only thing that's original, I mean, it's a parts caster. I like the body. Call me vain if you want to, but I like the body of the guitar. Very solid. So I just changed everything else. Ended up spending about $500 to do that overall, but worth it. Everything stays in tune. It sounds good. I'm good with that. So it's my main guitar. It's my main guitar. So I think I got another line. Yeah. People sleep on it, and people sleep on having just like a good guitar. Like, don't get caught up on having an expensive guitar. That doesn't mean that it will be a good guitar. Thank you. I mean, other than, where is it? Other than this. So that was there when I bought it. I was like, hey, I'll show it some love. I will show it some love. And the neck, I just painted that. I taped it off and painted it. So, but that's what it is, man. Yeah. Seymour Duncans, these two. And, yeah, it's good. I dig it. Yeah, let me know if y'all got some questions, and drop some lines in the comments after this video, and let me know about your tuning issues, and maybe I can help you out as well. Right, it is personality. Yeah, and I love it. I'm with it. I'm not about a battle scar. I'm with that. And you can tell that the paint is nice and thick too. But yes, so I appreciate y'all hanging out, and it is. How did you know that? Yep, it is. It's a Don Booker. I love them. You're right about that. Yeah, it gives me good sustain. I'll do it one more time. I did it a little earlier. Let me see. So yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. But all right, y'all, I'm going to check you later. So catch me on the next one, man. Let me know if you have questions. Drop a line on my community, under the community tab, and leave a line if needed. All right. You are out. Thank y'all for stopping by. Appreciate it. I was supposed to do the thing. My little outro didn't work. It's spicy. Hey, I'm with it. Yeah, it's a little sure mic. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Drop some suggestions. Love y'all. Peace.